right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back after maybe a little bit of a surprise. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. In that last series, Venom, the former 10 seed, pulling off the upset on the Griffins in our last matchup. Rockerman and Jaegers back here in the booth, getting ready for our next matchup, Jaegers, where we're heading to the Rival League in another one that's sure to be a very spicy contest.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a good one. And it's Hydra versus Galaxy, the second versus the third seed. I think this is the only side of the bracket in all of Nemesis that looks like it's supposed to, Austin.
Yeah, it does, and I'll actually pull it up here so the viewers can follow along as well. But yeah, Jaegers, this the rival league, it always somehow, some way finds its way to be relatively a chalk. The champion in the rival league has not been lower than a 3 seed ever. It's always been 1, 2, or 3. So there's been no the rival league. If you know all of Nemesis is gonna have those 1 seed upsets, Jaegers, the rival league they're not having it.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, that's the league that's everything that's supposed to happen usually happens. And I mean it's second versus three. They're looking to go up against the fourth seed. So I mean Blaze does have a chance to make history being the first fourth seed. But I mean, first off, this one going to be a very good series. Galaxy has I believe that's Axe, Kamikaze, and Nibs or Spuff. I'm not sure which one they're gonna start with. On the flip side, Landon, Sanzo, Cotni, and Twiggy. A lot of known players here. If I'm not mistaken, is Axe the same one that was on Fort's Griffin's team that lost in the
I
grand finals at one
I
time,
think
or is
this is
that a different
I think
player?
this is different. This is ACX. It's a little C in the middle.
Ace.
Yeah,
Okay,
ACX.
okay.
So I think it's a different player, but there were definitely some roster moves, Jaegers, on that Hydra team who ended the season so hot, and then they made a couple of changes at the end.
And they stayed hot. They've won 12 of their last 13, including playoffs. Yeah, towards the end, I mean, Zimity, Challenger League MVP last season, went non-playing. So Hydra stayed calm. They stayed collected. And if I'm not mistaken, they picked up, I believe it was Landon, and they really haven't looked back since.
Yeah, no, the last minute changes, not usually what you see coming out here from a team going to the playoffs, but hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You got to be ready with what you got here. And Hydra still able to get that first round win, as did Galaxy. So looks like both these teams, Jaegers, we got them locked and loaded here. We'll talk a little bit more about them as things go on, but let's get a prediction out of you.
Oh, prediction, that's gonna be a tough one. Both these teams are extremely good. Um, I mean, Hydra's just been so hot. I see them pulling up off the upset. I'm gonna say in six. Um, but let's see what Galaxy has to offer in this one. They played very well. They're the second seed for the reason. So honestly, I'm just here for the content, Austin.
We're always just here for the content, and well, we're gonna have to see here as we're gonna get game number 1 underway here between Hydra and Galaxy. Hydra in the purple tonight, with Landon, Cotni, and Sanzo, and then Galaxy in the blue with ACX, Kamikazi, and Spuff here. And a lot of great players, a few that we recognize. I think there's a lot more, maybe a couple more unknowns than we're
Oh,
used to. Is this
Cotney.
one, it's just going to go all the way down. Kamikazi is going to strike first.
Yeah, no, Kamikaze with the air dribble gonna get I think he was looking for a different touch, but it doesn't matter. Cotney not quite able to find the touch he wanted, the touch he needed, and Galaxy going to strike first.
Yeah, Galaxy going to find their way in. They are a team that also has made so many roster changes in the season. DJD was trading picks around, trading players around. That Galaxy team was good since the beginning and swapped things around, and they still ended up being really good. And they made it here, able to get that first round win in the playoffs. And it was a great victory for them over Bearcats, who originally did have Ventus and company. And there's a lot of movement in the rival league. But either way, things have stayed consistent. As this one dropped off the post, trying to find its way in, but not quite gonna make it through. His Kamikaze to ACX. That one is denied away. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see as there's a banger of a shot from Sanzo, the captain, but denied by Kamikazi. This one dropping down, trying to find another 50 through. And Jaegers, we talked about this a couple times throughout the season, but with the increase in the Titan League MMR, we saw Rival League, the top of Rival League, go way up, and it's really provided some great plays and some great content in our second highest league.
No, it really has a bunch of added entertainment. And we honestly, Austin, you were a little bit selfish. You raised the cap on Titan. We saw an increase in performance in the Titan League, but I mean the Rival League really popped off as a result of it as well. And honestly, I don't think we have seen a higher speed of play than we have this season in Rival.
Yeah, definitely not. And another goal. We're seeing some speed from ACX, who fires another one on the net. And the Galaxy gonna come out here starting out early with 2 quick goals, and Hydra hasn't quite been able to settle in quite yet.
Yeah, no, Galaxy playing extremely fast. So far, Hydra does not have an answer for him. And I mean, they just need to get some offense going. It is still early, still plenty of time, but they don't want this one to get away from them. They don't want Galaxy to have all the momentum. They need to strike back fast.
Yeah, Hydra needs to try to find something. Like you mentioned, they have probably been the hottest team, maybe in all of Nemesis at the end of the season. Like you mentioned, yeah, they're 12 of their last 13, including their win last week in the playoffs there. So this team is hot, and the Galaxy can try to be the one to stop them. But new roster, who to switch things up? That's the big wild card factor here. Like I mentioned, Sanzo's still there, but Cotni and Landon, the new pickups onto this team. So it's a different look. Same captain. Hydra gotta try to find themselves a way, but they do have a couple of great players. I don't know too much about Landon, but I do recognize Cotni, who's been a menace in Nemesis for many seasons before Jaegers.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Cotney won Season 6 back in Prospect, and he was a Titan League player at some point, I believe, for the Kraken, a team that's no longer in Nemesis, at least for the time being. So yeah, he's been in a few leagues, been around, been a veteran, and looking to make finals once again in here in the Rival League.
I believe he's at least a 2-time champion, also winning with the Raptors back a few seasons ago. I believe it was Season 7 is. Hydra may have found something here, but Kamikazi able to get back as they almost found their way through. All things considered, some great players here, and it's good to see a bunch of new faces here competing in Nemesis. And speaking of new faces, how about the newbie to the roster? Gonna find Hydra's first goal in the semifinals.
Yeah, landing off the pass from Cotney just a little bit quicker. Ace not quite able to get the touch he wanted. And Landon gonna cut the lead in half.
Yeah, Landon able to find that one into the net there. A great shot and well played there by Hydra to finally find one into the net. And have to see if they're gonna get a chance to bring it back in game 1. This ball up in the midfield, opportunity gonna be shot through, and Kamikazi is gonna shut that down real quick.
And Cotney with the air dribble, his teammates have to respect the touch from Spuff, a touch that never came, and that's just a perfect shot by Kamikazi. It isn't actually flashy, but it was beautiful placement.
Yeah, it was beautiful placement. Able to get that one in the back of the net, and Kamikazi really stepping up. I believe, if my memory serves, this is the same Kamikazi that was on the Bananas a few seasons ago in the Titan League, and he's definitely a very solid player. It's good to see some former Titans, popping off here in that newly revamped Rival League. And Kamikazi definitely showing up, going to try to lead his team to a game 1 victory. Down the final 30 seconds, Hydra going to try to find something. Sanzo popping it up, but Kamikazi is going to be one first to the ball there. This one rolling back up. ACX finds a touch, looking to drop this one down here. Double quick comes through. This one's going to drop back down, but Sanzo can't quite put it on target. They're trying to fire this one in. Nice little flip, nice little pop. It's floating, but no one from Hydra quite ready. That was a great pass, but no finish on the other end, and time going to tick away, and that is going to do it there for game number 1. Galaxy going to put this one in their favor.
Yeah, no, Galaxy starting off extremely fast, and for a little bit, Hydra did not have an answer. They were able to battle back, get one on the board. Um, but buckle up, Austin. I do have a feeling this is going to be a long series. I don't think this is going to be a sweep. Hydra isn't going to back down that easily. And yeah, no, I really think we do have some exciting Rocket League in front of us.
Yeah, no, I mean this one is a great game by Galaxy to kind of set the tone. They're 10 shots to 5, really putting on the pressure in that game one. But yeah, like you mentioned, Hydra, when you're rolling Jaegers, when you've had such a great roll, you are more inclined to think even more and try to keep that streak going because like you mentioned, they have been super hot giving their team and this org a chance to get a third grand finals appearance for them, and a team that historically has been really good in the Hydra squad, and now they're gonna have to look for something Jaegers to try to fire back in game two.
No, absolutely. And it just looked like Galaxy did outpace Hydra early on in that game one, and Hydra did was a little bit awkward. Um, but I mean, look for them to pick up the pace in this game number two. But it's gonna be kind of hard because I mean, Galaxy played extremely fast. I do know Landon is a great player. He That's a name I've heard in a few leagues. So Hydra does have a tall test in front of them.
Yeah, they do, and we're gonna have to try to find something. Landon was the goal scorer, lone goal scorer for Hydra in that game number one, and now as we head into game number two, we're gonna have to see if they can bring it back or if Galaxy started out with a 2-0 series lead. Spuff gonna take control, pop this one up, cotni. Then one back, Kamikazi taking to the air, trying to get to with that one. Gonna take it underneath, looking for another touch. Able to pop it down, and actually popped it out in the midfield, but Hydra the first to that ball. Gonna set it up. Kamikazi out in the midfield looking for Spuff. Do we denied away by Sanzo? As ACX able to get to that one, but it's gonna be blocked right back. I'm looking to take control, but that one only gonna float to the side. Out in the midfield now. This one shot towards net. Landon gotta get to this touch, able to send it to the corner. And Cotni gonna hit it right back the other way. As both these teams starting to find a little bit more control here, Jaegers, than we saw. It seemed like in the first game. It seemed like a lot of pressure. That one, oh my goodness, gonna be flung off there. It seemed like there was a lot more pressure in game one, but now these teams are finding control and actually finding a couple of mistakes there. The ball is still floating around. 50 gonna come through. Sanzo, the captain, sends it in, and Hydra takes the lead.
Yeah, and it looks like Haste not quite able to find the touch he wanted. He's gonna get a touch, but Sanzo just a nice 50 to open up the scoring.
Yeah, Sanzo, a nice shot there to send it in, finding the smart read there on that one, and especially you kind of need that sometimes, especially after all the panic that comes through with which we saw on the Galaxy goal line. But Sanzo, smart play there. Find that one as Demo avoided. Cotni sending off the backward, almost found another touch. Sanzo come through, help him push it to the side. As Landon sends it back in, looking for another one. Landon hunting for ACX. Instead, find itself to the corner as Cotni gonna flick it out in the midfield, and a nice pass by Cotni to Sanzo, who finds the second.
Yeah, and that was just a nice pass by Cotton. Gonna beat out one, flick it past the other. And Sanzo with the cleanup crew goal. And I mean, right now, Hydra really has picked up the pace in this one, Austin. It looks like almost like a flipping of roles between the teams.
Yeah, no, Galaxy has not been able to get that same pressure, and Hydra running too early. It might be a third, but that one looks like a little bit off. As they almost caught Galaxy out there. Not to be that time as Cotni pops it up. Kamikazi, a little bit of boost to work with, able to get that one in. Spuff gonna send it down. Spuff looking for it again, but the demo comes through, and it's not gonna find its way on net. Maybe a little bit of a smoke screen. And Cotni looking to set it up. That one, oh my goodness, it's gonna fly off the crossbar. Couldn't see where that ball went, but it's not gonna find its way in. As Hydra is looking for something here. Try to bring him back. Another big miss comes through. Hydra trying to send it in. Sanzo looking for the hat trick. He's not going to find it right now. And Yeah, Jaegers. Looks like Hydra maybe starting to find some things as they're getting very mechanical and they're really finding each other. It seems like it's led by Cotni on those couple passing plays.
Yeah, no, Cotney being the field general, almost finding his teammates, but very good on his teammates actually being there for the passes. And I mean, Galaxy's a very mechanical team. They're just not able to find the success that they had in game number one. But honestly, I really think we do have a great series in front of us, very high flying. And I honestly think we're going to have a few highlight plays before everything's all said and done.
Yeah, and Landon is trying to find a highlight reel play there, looking for the fake, but gonna be sniffed out by Galaxy. This one sent back down. ACX trying to send this one up. Landon trying to find the raid. Kamikazi off the pre-jump there. Trying to find it down, but he can't. Is this one? Let's push back across Landon. Gonna look to take control. Gonna grab that boost. Gonna get it by one. Landon looking for a teammate. Actually, he opted keeping himself there. As ACX sends it down. Gonna stay with this one. Firing off the back. We're looking for another touch. Gonna find it, but not quite on target. As Sanzo is gonna send it out. Landon looking to pop it up. Opportunity here. Great pass there, but it could be denied away. Great defense on the Galaxy end. Is wait a minute, what is Sanzo up to there? He's floating on the ceiling, not quite able to get it here. And I mean, this is almost like you mentioned, it's a repeat of game one, but the roles have been reversed. It's a 2-0 scoreline, and Hydra's just been holding on to their lead, and now they're gonna add to it. Landon spins her in.
Yeah, no, that was an awkward chain of events. I believe one of the Hydra players was just pre-jumping off the ceiling and making Galaxy look a little discombobulated. Hydra just outpaced them there. And finally gonna get a shot on target. And now it's Galaxy's turn to look at the drawing board, kind of see how to stop this Hydra offense. They did really well just outpacing them, but in terms of pace, I mean, I'm not sure if Hydra's going on all cylinders if Galaxy can beat them in a game of pace.
Yeah, that is the question here, and a lot of times you see it in these leagues here. It's about pace of play. You get two teams going at two different speeds. And right now, the speed is in favor of Hydra. They've been putting on some good pressure, able to counter attack a couple times on Galaxy. This one fired towards the net. Hydra a little double commit, but they're going to send it away, and time ticks down here. It's going to result in a Hydra win, and oh, that's good news. Good news for the viewers here, as that means we're going to have some content as a nice flip reset comes through. But Hydra going to battle back, take that game number 2. So we got ourselves a tied series and one apiece to start things off.
Goes down to a nice little best of 5. And I'm really interested to see who takes this next game one step closer to the finals. Galaxy punch first, Hydra hit back, but it's going to be really interesting to see who takes this game number 3, because honestly, we've seen both sides kind of switch roles. Are they going to continue to switch back and forth, or is Hydra going to stay consistent and take the next game? It's very interesting to look at. And I don't know. It's just going to be a good one, Austin.
Yeah, no, it's hard to. I feel like this series is so hard to even analyze Jaegers because both these teams have just been throwing. They kind of like it hasn't been a lot of high score and a lot of high mistakes. It's just been, Galaxy just kind of owned game 1, Hydra just kind of owned game 2, and going into game 3, it's just about who's actually going to be able to find their footing in the series. It seems like.
No, it really is, and I think the team that finds their footing first is going to be the team that wins this series. And Ace gonna kick off the scoring, nice little shot, and I mean they weren't able to find a goal in the previous game, but they got started pretty early right there.
Yeah, that's a perfectly placed shot there by ACX, able to get that speed, able to send it in right over Cotni, who was unable to get back to it. So, nice play for Galaxy to come back here and start that scoring out with a nice shot. And now Hydra, they're the ones put on the back foot here. This Cotni send it down. This one back in the zone. Sanzo can't quite find that touch, and demo gonna come through. Sanzo gonna clear this one out, trying to find a touch. Kamikazi over the top of him. This one sent back in. Sanzo Trying to find that touch. It's dropped down. Hydra with an opportunity. Here comes
nice
cotni
pass.
to send it in there, and he's going to tie it up.
And that was just a really good pass by Sanzo. Gonna nice little backflip, put Ace-X a little bit awkward. Spuff not quite able to get back in time, and cotni just a little bit quicker to the punch, tie up the game. And if I'm not mistaken, we haven't seen that so far this series, Austin.
And no, it's been two shutouts in the games 1 and game 2. So now we're getting a little punches thrown back and forth here. So these teams, like you mentioned, starting to kind of find something, and we'll have to see who is going to find some more, because they're going to need it here to take this lead. As this one sent across there, Spuff going to push this one out the ball, floating down, dropping towards the net there, but not quite going to find its way on. This one in the corner, ACX looking to find a touch, ball popping out. Here comes Spuck, but Landon is going to shut that one down, send it away. Let's push back Sanzo. This one finds its way up, but Kamikazi able to get to it, able to send it in the corner. Trying to drop this one down into the corner. Touch going to come through Landon. Going to push it out as Kamikazi up in the air, sending it down Sanzo. He's going to find a touch, able to clear that one away. Send it back down. It's cotni. Again, looking for that 50. Can't quite find it. Landon just going to pot shot that one to the corner. Going to find a nice touchdown, but ACX is there, denying it in the midfield. And Jaegers, I feel like this is a lot different than what we've seen in the other playoff matches. I feel like we saw so many high-scored affairs. Is this one going to be dropped in?
Sanzo.
Sanzo with the placement there. We'll hold that for a second as Hydra going to find their second.
Yeah, Ace just going to hop just one slight hop, but that hop was too much as Sanzo just going to slide that underneath to steal the lead.
Yeah, he's going to find that one in the back of the net, and with how these games have felt here in the first 3, you have to wonder, could that be enough to find some of his Spuff looking for a redirect? Not quite gonna go there, and this one gonna actually be shot back. Kamikazi almost finds it on the net though, but not quite, as he's floating, waiting, looking for a teammate, trying to drop that one down, and Sanzo is gonna find a clear off to the corner, as this one actually sent back. Kamikazi looking for the pre-flip, but he can't find it.
And Austin, back to what you were saying earlier. I mean, both these teams look extremely evenly matched. In most of the playoff games, I mean, most teams have established dominance pretty early on, it seems like. But honestly, neither team able to, in this one, able to set their footing, take the lead at least consistently. And honestly, even though Hydra is up in this one, I still could really see this game going either way, especially with the scoring prowess that Galaxy has.
Yeah, either way, indeed. Here's we're down to 1:45 remaining. Hydra holding on to their lead, but Galaxy looking to strike back. Sanzo is going to find a touch off to the corner here, but a big miss comes through. Sanzo going to take it by the defense and a send her in.
Yeah, and just a nice little slide by Sanzo. Nice little pass to defense. I'm not sure if the Galaxy player was going to find that touch, if it was going to be a slide touch or not, but Sanzo just going to sneak that by him to extend the Hydra lead.
And Sanzo, he's been big so far in this series, and what else would you expect from the captain of your team? And that's always an interesting aspect, Jaegers, of these playoff matches, of the season in general, is what kind of role does your captain play in the season and on the pitch?
Yeah, no, I mean, sometimes captains are motivational, sometimes it's the main playmaker. And I mean, at least so far, it looks like Sanzo has been siding on the playmaker side. I'm not sure what the comms are like, but he's definitely stepping it up for his team. Not quite able to find the shot there, though. Almost a beautiful play by cotni.
Yeah, that one almost gonna find the back of the net, and demos are being traded off the pitch, and here comes that man, cotni. He's gonna send it in, another goal in the back of the net for Hydra.
And yeah, he's gonna get it off the pass from Sanzo. Sanzo gonna get decimated by 2 Galaxy defenders, and they're not quite able to make it back in time, and cotni just gonna punish them there.
And cotni, like you mentioned, a long-time Nemesis veteran there. I believe, a two-time champion, one in Prospect, one in Challenger, and well, now he's looking for his rival championship here, trying to stack up all the Infinity Stones here through Nemesis, and right now they're putting that goal in the back of the net. He set his team up for success as this one's floating down, and
Oh
here goes
my.
Landon to put it in. Another goal for Hydra, and they're starting to run away with this one, and they're going to definitely secure himself a game 3.
They really are. I mean, what a beautiful mechanical play by Cotney to put that one in the danger zone. And I mean, Landon just got to make a nice shot. All he had to do was hit the ball. But Cotney's always been an extremely mechanical player, and he just keeps getting better and better. Nice shot almost by Kamikazi, but Spuff gonna play cleanup crew. Is it too little too late? Or is that just a little bit of momentum going into the next game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit too late here. 3 goals in 16 seconds is going to be a tough task, but if they find it, that would be absolute cinema.
Insane.
Yeah, it'd be insane. It'd be insane. I would agree. But it doesn't look like Hydra is going to have any of that as they're trying to send one more, and then nice save. Going to come through, but Hydra going to hold on to this one, and they are going to take this game number 3. Going to put themselves up 2-1 in the series. A very close one. Both teams finding their back and forth, but Hydra with their second win in a row, and honestly a pretty commanding game 3 victory.
Yeah, absolutely. Hydra building off their game number 2. And I mean, Galaxy looked extremely good in the first game. They just haven't really had an answer for Hydra in the past 2 games. Um, I'm really interested to see what they do in this next game. Are we going to see the game ones selves, or are Hydra going to continue to dominate? Because it looks like Hydra just needed that one game warm up, and they haven't really looked back since.
Yeah, no, they just kind of took one to the mouth in game 1, but once in back in games 2 and then game 3, kind of feeling themselves. And this one is such an important game here. If you're Galaxy, it's probably the pivotal game of the series, Jaegers. As it's one game between you being down 3-1 and tied 2-2.
Yeah, no, it really is probably one of the most pivotal games in best of sevens, if I'm being completely honest. Because, yeah, you either tie it up or you're on match point, and there's really no in between. That's gonna be awkward there. Galaxy gonna double commit, and honestly, they do look a little bit nervous, not quite able to find an answer to Hydra so far. They really need to clean it up. They're a good team, and they just haven't been able to find it these past 2 games.
Yeah, they haven't quite found what they were looking for, like they had in that game number 1 where they shut out Hydra and took that early lead. But we know they're going to be trying to battle back here in this one. ACX looking to find a Kamikazi jumping for it, but Sanzo a little bit quicker to the ball. This one sent down a big 50.
Nice 50.
Oh my goodness, Sanzo, the big body on top of Spuff.
Yeah, Sanzo not going to have any boost here. He's just gonna do what he can, put his car in front of the ball, and it worked out for him as Hydra gonna take that early lead.
Yeah, Hydra, a big goal right there to give him the early lead, and the Galaxy really got to find something here in this one to just get some momentum at the very least after Hydra dropped quite a few goals on him in the last game. Oh my goodness!
No, Cotney!
Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness! What a dunk by Cotney off the ceiling! Put Kamikazi on a poster, and Cotney going to double up the lead.
Oh my goodness! Someone get that on that poster, frame it, put it in your bedroom right there, because Cotney just put that man to rest right there. What a dunk by him! Able to send it in. And a 2-0 lead for Hydra. And Jaegers, part of it's bad enough when you drop down here in the series and drop down in this game number 4, but to have a goal scored on you like that one hurts the mental, as they might have found one back here. And well, Spuff gonna take one back for the Galaxy boys.
And Kamikazi just gonna go all wrecking crew. Spuff does nice to control the ball, but Kamikazi just gonna put his car on the line with the full back play, and Spuff had to do is walk it in.
Yeah, and that's about as easy as it gets. Galaxy Good on the counter attack, and I was just want to say that's one of the ones, Jaegers, where your mental can get a little bit boomed on that one. But a great answer by
Oh
Galaxy,
my.
and a great answer by Hydra.
And yeah, no, Landon with the nice shot, just gonna kiss off the top bar. Spuff not quite able, scooted a little too far up. Did his best to backflip, but there's not much you can do to get yourself out of that situation when you put yourself in it. And Hydra gonna steal that one right back.
Yeah, and that's one where I was just talking about. Well, your mental was good, you didn't concede, you didn't give up after getting that dunk goal from Cotni on your head, and then you answer back with a goal. But then Hydra just comes back, and Jaegers, that's what the great teams do here in the playoffs or in any series really is don't let that mental start to change. Get the answer back.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really is a long series. Even if Galaxy does end up losing this game, with which if the score stays the same, they will. Um, they still got time. They have another life. 3-1 down is a lot easier to come back than a reverse sweep. It's happened way more times than just three. Um, so I do think Galaxy can do it based on skill. Mentally, that's another story. They need to keep their morals high and just find ways to disrupt this Hydra offense, because right now they're popping off on all cylinders. And I really think if Galaxy does need to win this series, I don't know what the state of their mental is. They need to
Oh,
win this one, but Landon looks at the clock and he says it's his time as he's gonna put his team up by 3.
what a read by Landon. A banger to the back of the net off the backboard. What a shot from him to give his team a 4-1 lead and all but secure this game for this Hydra roster. Unless Galaxy has some magic in the tank here. Still a minute 40. Still a lot of time, but this is one of the ones where, if you're going to do it, you're going to have to do it quick there as Landon didn't quite land on that one. Kamikazi forced to push it out. Cotni gonna send this one way up there. Sanzo coming in, firing it at the net, forcing a double commit. It's 50, comes back out. Landon is gonna come on in, and he's gonna send it on in. And that's another goal to Hydra's tally.
And honestly, Austin, I don't even know what you do if you're Galaxy. Like, how do you stop Hydra? I mean, Hydra looked lackluster in game one, but then they've just been popping off since, and it honestly looks like they just keep getting better and better.
Yeah, no, maybe they're just ramping up here as the series goes on. And yeah, you're definitely right here. And I think no matter what happens in the rest of this game, unless there's some miraculous 4-goal comeback, I think it's
Oh
timeout
my.
territory as Sanzo
It
with
has to
a
be.
laser.
And yeah, no, Cotni going to hit it off the ceiling, and then Sanzo just a straight beam. Two Galaxy defenders not quite able to find the touch. And right now, Galaxy just looking to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, that one, just an absolute missile into the back of the net of Galaxy and Hydra. They are really feeling the offense here, trying to find the Brazil maybe, and gonna try to find themselves a 3-1 series lead, which is gonna be huge for them, and there are chances to take on Blaze in the grand finals. And the Galaxy
Oh,
gotta just try to find something, just some sort of momentum, Jaegers, because we saw what they did in that game one. They had the opportunities to battle back, but it's just after that game one, it seems like Hydra, like you mentioned, just they took on another plane.
yeah, no, they really have. And honestly, I do see Galaxy still going for mechanical plays. So maybe their mental isn't as shot. Maybe they're just going to like try and grab something, get some, hit the hit the whiteboard as a little early timeout, kind of see what works, because they're still going at it. They're not completely mental boom, but they're just running out of chances. I mean, this next game, that is their last lifeline for the playoffs, and Hydra on grand final point.
Yeah, they are one win away from making it back to the grand finals. They've been there before, times of the past there. Both times Hydra made it as the 1 seed back in season 4 and season 7. Now looking for a season 11 grand finals appearance. And yeah, like you mentioned, Jaeger is going to be one win away from doing so. And this is almost certainly got to be a Galaxy timeout here. I think you gotta call it and shut it down right here.
You know, Austin, but what we normally see with high leagues is they don't really take their timeouts. But they're going to take one here. Buff calling for the timeout, and
Yeah,
they should take all this minute and then the timeout just to find a way to stop Hydra's momentum.
yeah, they're gonna have
Because
to
I mean,
find a way
I
somehow.
don't know.
Somehow, Jaegers, they're gonna have to try to find a way. As I mean, I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know what you need to see out of them Jaegers, but they gotta
I, I
they gotta find something.
I need Galaxy to revert back to their game one selves because I mean they had Hydra reeling. It wasn't like an offensive masterclass, but they were beating Hydra to the ball over and over again. Hydra didn't seem to have an answer. And it looked like Galaxy were the front runners in the series, at least for game one. And then game two, it was almost like a switch was flipped, and then Hydra just started popping off and haven't really looked back. So if I'm Galaxy, I'm looking to disrupt the Hydra offense, find ways to demo. They did well to demo Hydra on their one goal they got the last game with the Kamikazi wrecking crew.
Yeah.
But they really just need to focus on the rotation and try to outpace Hydra.
Yeah, they did have the pace in that first game, but it's been all Hydra ever since, and now Galaxy on the back foot here, and you got to pull off the 3-1 comeback here. You got to get it to game 5, and Jaegers, like you mentioned, this is one of those things where it's a lot easier to come back from a 3-1 as opposed to that crucial 3-0, because I mean Galaxy, they've shown life, they've shown proof that they can hang in this series, but they got to find a way to come out early in game 5.
The 3-1's a lot easier on the mental because that just means you can beat them. You beat them once, what's another game? And then you just take it one game at a time. Like a reverse sweep, that's unknown territory yet. So far you've been completely outclassed by the other team. Cotni gonna get a nice hit. But so far Galaxy does well to hit it away, and so far on defense, I know it's really awesome, but I mean Galaxy have met every task.
Yeah, they have here, and they're gonna have to do so and try to turn it into some offense, because we saw Hydra with that insane offensive pressure in the last couple of games. They really held the pace, and now it's up to Galaxy. How did they find an answer? Who did they lean on here in this one? I think for me, Jaegers, it looks like ACX has got to be the one to lean on.
No.
This one shot, but he can't put it in. Oh no, that one is gonna be one he's gonna be thinking about.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be tough, especially if you're Galaxy. They completely broke down the Hydra defense. All that was left was the open net, and not able to find the back of the net. The score remains tied, and that all that aside, I mean, Galaxy so far has looked really good on offense. They look like they're outpacing Hydra. The only thing I'm seeing, they are playing a little bit too safe. Whenever one of the Galaxy players did get a beat, there was no. They were hesitant on defense. He had no one backing him up. Galaxy really does not want to give up the first goal in this one.
Yeah, you need the pressure, you need the momentum, especially when you're down here. You got to find a way to turn the tables in your favor. And it's Buff trying to turn a pass to the middle there. Cotni's going to find the touch. He's trying to take it over. Cotni pushing it down the field. Can they find the follow off the backboard? Here comes the shot. Oh, no. Sanzo. Oh, no. That's the one he's going to want back.
And Austin, it looks like at least in this game 5, both teams allergic to the back of the net, not quite able to find the touch they want. And we got we have a tie ball game still. I don't think we've had a game go this long without a score, but there you go, Mr. Spuff putting one in the back of the net, bottom left and in. And I don't think Galaxy have led since that game 1.
You might be right about that, Jaegers. It just seemed like a long time of Hydra domination, but Spuff maybe trying to end the reign of this Hydra squad, and they finally find one, but Jaegers, we're not on Forbidden Temple. Like, is this like a hidden, hidden Forbidden Temple here, like under the pitch? Like, we're gonna pull back the mask and this is gonna be Forbidden Temple because I feel like this has been a crazy game 5 right here.
No, it's been odd, right? I mean, normally rival players like they do everything great mechanically. The least you'd expect is to put a shot on target, but I mean that's sometimes the hardest shot in the game is the open net. Um, so even pro players fail to conquer that at times. So, I mean, Galaxy did well to get one here. They just need to maintain the lead, and I really feel like if they want to maintain the lead against Hydra, they're going to need to put another one in the back of the net because no one goal lead game is safe.
And no, one goal is never safe in Rocket League. Until that ball touches the ground, you are not safe. And right now, Galaxy, they are not safe as Hydra is bearing down towards their net. Here comes a
Oh,
50 from
good.
Sanzo.
Oh
Oh
no!
no! A big mistake. And Sanzo's gonna get the goal, but oh, tough to watch.
That is tough. Kamikazi with a nice 50. Spuff gonna try and clear it away, but Kamikazi just in the way, not able to get back his wheels back on the ground, and that is definitely when Galaxy is going to want to get back. There was a little bit of danger, but honestly, if Galaxy just remained calm and didn't panic, I still feel like they'd be in the lead here.
Oh, is this one gonna be fired towards the net? Cotni gonna save it away, but Jaegers, I think one more crazy goal like that, and I'll
Huh?
be convinced that this is Forbidden Temple after all. But Spuff, he's gonna send it in a long way out.
Yeah, and you know, Spuff gonna bounce it off the ceiling, and Sanzo and Landon both looking a little bit awkward, and Galaxy going to retake the lead.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a crazy game here. Galaxy in desperation mode have found a lead here with a minute 8 remaining. Their season on the line here. If they don't win this game, it's all over for them in Nemesis Season 11. As this one sent back in the midfield, nice touch. Gonna come through Kamikazi. Able to send it up high. Cotni can't quite find that touch. This ball gonna be banged up. Dropping down, a demo attempt comes through, but Sanzo is gonna be able to clear it out a long way. Spuff. Nice bang, Cotney. Not able to find that read there on that one. Flip reset.
Ooh.
Oh, gonna pop it up here. A great opportunity. Kamikazi, and he's gonna send it in.
Yeah, no, Kamikaze and Galaxy looking to get their swagger back. Nice little flip reset by Spuff. Get past one defender, and Kamikaze just gonna hit top ends and in, and they, they look alive again. It looks like that timeout's helping out. And honestly, whenever you're down by 2 in a best of 7, you just gotta look at the game in front of you. You gotta focus on this game. You can't focus on the tall task ahead. And I really feel like that's what Galaxy's doing, and that's what's working for them.
Yeah, it is
And
working right now, Jaegers. As this one gonna be sent to the backboard, and yeah, it looks like we will be finding our elusive Forbidden Temple, the real Forbidden Temple, after all here. As Galaxy is gonna hold on in the final seconds, and yeah, Jaegers, like you mentioned, a great performance from them here in game 5 to find that victory, to find that win, and like you mentioned, they look like a new team right now after that.
they really do. I mean, they're starting to get their confidence back, and that's a huge thing in Rocket League is to be able to have that confidence to go for the ball. You can't second guess yourself. Yeah, sometimes you just have to go. You can't overthink it. And I really feel like Galaxy really took a step back to their play style here.
Yeah, I think they really did find themselves here in this one. And it looks like we're gonna get another timeout, Jaegers. On the other end, it's gonna be Hydra who are nipping it in the bud here. They don't want to call the timeout before a possible game 7. They want the timeout right now, and they're gonna go ahead and call it before we get to Forbidden Temple.
Honestly, I mean, game 7, it could go either way if it does end up getting to game 7. And if you're Hydra, you don't want to get to game 7. Yeah, you had your chance in this last game. Galaxy going to be able to was able to come back, seal a game back. But yeah, like you were saying, if I'm Hydra, I want to nip this in the bud now. You don't want to go to game 7 because you have a lifeline. Game 7's anyone's game.
Yeah, true. It can be anyone's game. It is interesting though, Jaegers. This is always I always love this part of the playoffs that's a little bit different is the usage of the tactical timeout when you decide to use it. You know, like you said, it's a good idea to nip it in the bud here, but you know, it could have been saved just in case because what happens now if Hydra does lose this game, you know, I don't know. It could be bad news with all the momentum going the other way.
The thing with that is like game seven, I feel like you just want to get into it. You know, if
Yeah.
you have that timeout beforehand, you start to overthink, you start to get stressed. It's better to just hit the ground running. I do think it was a little bit smart to get it here. And honestly, we had Forbidden Temple Light last game. Now we have the real thing here.
Yeah, we do have the real thing, and we're gonna have to see what kind of chaos is gonna come out of this one because it is sure to be a banger. Will we see Game 7? Will we see a win from Hydra here? We're gonna have to find out as we're about to hit the pitch here on the one and only Forbidden Temple. And it's gonna be all about who is gonna come out first. Will we see some more craziness? It's time to find out as Hydra sending
Oh,
this one in.
cotni.
Looking to start something out there with Cotni sending it in, but not quite going to find that one on target as this ball is going to be pinched, popping high into the ceiling, just floating there, no touch. Going to come through on the Galaxy end here. But again, Jaegers, despite the timeout, you know, the Galaxy, they still need to find their momentum back. And Cotni might have a big opportunity to send it in, and Hydra, they're going to strike first in Game 6.
And that was just a great beat by Sanzo getting it past Ace X, and Cotney just gonna have to beat the last defender, and he beat him with seconds to spare as Hydra gonna pick up the pace in this game number 6. And will Galaxy be able to fight back?
Galaxy, the pressure once again on them. They were able to survive. It wasn't a commanding, dominating win in Game 5, but they were able to make it happen. But now Hydra, with that good time out there, able to regain their composure and find that goal. This one sent down.
Oh.
That could be blocked away by Sanzo. That ball might have actually found its way in, but it's tough to say as that ball is going to be cleared out in the midfield now. Galaxy looking for a shot opportunity. 2 players up a fake coming through. That one's still going to be sent back in. Sanzo gonna pop it up high. Cotni for this one. A demo comes through.
Cotni.
The flip reset sends it down. Cotni gonna find another one in, and Hydra on the lead.
And yeah, no, Hydra really picking up where they left off in game number 4. Cotney with a nice little flip reset into air dribble, a little bit of mechanical play by him. And yeah, no, I mean, if you're Galaxy, I mean, you still have plenty of time, but you kind of need to get going. You do need a goal in the next minute, I think, to be able to contend with Hydra, because you don't want them to pick up the scoring pace and keep having their way with the Galaxy defense.
Yeah, you can't let them just run away with this one. I agree with you completely here. When you're down here in this series, you're down in your potentially last game of your season. You gotta find a way to retake a goal, and at least bring yourselves within 1. If you're within 1, like you mentioned, as long as that ball's up, you got a chance. But 2 goals, that is not quite gonna be possible. This one sent back in the corner by Hydra. Still looking to keep the pressure going. This one off the corner. Spuff when he bumped off this one. Sanzo with an opportunity off the backboard. Looking for another touch. Here comes Landon. It's gonna be denied away. It's just Cotney back there. Nice little touch comes through, but Spuff is continuing on. This one went up to the ceiling there. Sanzo gonna find 1 touch. Kamikazi out of the midfield looking for a teammate there. Not gonna find it though. Cotney able to send this one down back in the Galaxy zone. Cotney jumping up here. Touch coming through. ACX trying to get it out. Spuff looking to take it down the pitch. Trying to find a flip.
Oh,
a big
good
bump comes
bump.
through, but it caught me. The man of the hour comes through with another save. And the Jaegers were down to halfway left in this game. Galaxy still find themselves down by 2.
Yeah, they're down by 2, but they've really picked up the pace in this one. I do see them being a little bit more creative, but that doesn't matter when you have Cotney shooting it back post to extend the lead.
Yeah, Cotney gonna pick up the hat trick, and Sanzo gonna pick up the playmaker, and Hydra really feeling good right now. And this one, Jaegers looking to send themselves back to the finals.
Yeah, and Hydra, like you were saying earlier, an extremely storied team. They have that championship pedigree we talk so much about.
Oh,
Landon gonna almost find another one there, but ASEC's gonna hit it away. Yeah, no, I mean it's they have plenty of time, 2 minutes left, but there's certain teams you need extra time against. I do feel like Hydra is one of those teams with the amount of offensive firepower they have.
yeah, you need a way to kind of corral this momentum back in your favor here, get the boost to come your way, and find that possession control. Because Hydra right now, they have got themselves set, and they've got themselves poised to send themselves back to the grand finals. As this one, a big demo, and that's how you can open up some space. If you're Galaxy, find those demos, find those opportunities. ACX dropping it down, big miss, one more, a
Oh,
pass
good
in the
pass.
midfield. Kamikazi sends it in, and Galaxy breathing a little life.
Oh yeah, no, ASEC's gonna get a nice pop over the defender, and Kamikaze just gonna slide that over Cotni. Cotni not quite able to find the touch. And with roughly a minute and a half left, can Galaxy make the comeback?
Can they do it? ACX trying to send it in, but it's Codney. He's been huge. He's been denying. He's been scoring. Been doing everything in this game 6, trying to encourage his team. He finds another one right there. This ball up in the midfield, looking for a touch, sending it down. Ball in the midfield. Codney again finds that touch. Sanzo. Oh
Oh,
my goodness, did he put it in?
oh
Oh
my
my
gosh,
goodness.
with the cutter. Sanzo going to extend the lead back to 3, almost nullifying Kamikaze's goal.
Wow, the Cuxer dagger. What a man right there by the captain. He sends it in Hydra back to a 3-goal lead. What a shot by him. And now Hydra looking for more, looking to end this series right here in 6. The Galaxy might be finding themselves heartbroken here. Gonna need a miracle. Gonna need to find something. ACX gets a touch here. Gotta find 3 in quick succession. ACX throws it in, but Landon is there to the ball. He's there to another touch. Able to send it away. This one pushed back in. This ball really dangerous. Floating in the midfield. Hydra just trying to stay with it. And Cotni, he is going to clear it out. And now the final 30 seconds. Galaxy going to need a Forbidden Temple miracle. But I don't think it's quite in their bag. Kamikaze trying to find something here. Big bump attempt coming through. It doesn't fly. And that save goes away. Last chance now for Galaxy. The ball dropping down. Could be a shot opportunity, but no one ready for it as Landon clears it away. And that ball sent away. And that is just going to do it, folks. Hydra going to hold on here. They are going to win, send themselves back to the grand finals for a 3rd time.
And a very good game by Hydra. Galaxy played very well in the beginning, was able to find one in the middle there, but Hydra, you can't stop the momentum for Hydra. They performed extremely well on offense. We're popping off mechanically. And Blaze has a lot coming towards them in the grand finals.
Wow, yeah, and that is going to be a great matchup as well. Hydra versus Blaze. I mean, this series was a great performance by that Hydra squad, able to take it in 6. So, impressive performance to them. Hats off for sure. And hats off to Galaxy as well for a great season. But Hydra, they are going to be the winners. They are going to be the ones heading to Wednesday night for that grand finals matchup. So, Jaegers, it's going to be a good one. These teams have given us some good content. The rival league has definitely given us some magic so far.
Oh, especially with the cap on higher level of play, it's been extremely mechanical, very fast paced. And we've seen some great goals in rival league that before this season were usually reserved for Titan.
Yeah, no, and it's the fun thing. It's the fun thing about all this, and it's really the skill has really gone up here in this rivalry, which is fun to see. You guys don't want to miss that one. Rivalry Grand Finals on a Wednesday night for that one. But we are not done here for the night. We still have 2 novice spots to figure out here, as our last 2 matches of the night going to be in the novice league. Up next, Diffusion versus Gorgons Jaegers, and this is a point that you brought up. I remember last 1 seed remaining in Nemesis.
Yeah, no, and I mean, Diffusion isn't just fighting for themselves; they're fighting for the lives of one seeds everywhere. Because I mean, honestly, we've never had a season where the one seed didn't make playoffs in every single league. This is ridiculous. It's never been done, and it's been a really exciting full reset.
Yeah, really, the full reset has sparked some chaos, diffusion, the last hope of the one seeds. There has never been a Nemesis season without a one seed in the grand finals, and well, the Gorgons are going to try to make that history. Diffusion, they're going to try to hold on and make it happen. But that one's going to be coming up in a few minutes, so make sure you guys stick around for some novice action. We're going to end the night with some bangers here in the novice league, so make sure you guys stick around, and we'll see you guys in a few.
Later.